If you are in the field painting with maybe a helper or another helper, you cap yourself at a certain amount per year.
$500,000 tops. Yep. He's like, hey, I'm talking to the customers. I'm just pitching my family, right?
And an authentic story.
And an authentic story that nobody can compete with.
I'm hearing what they're saying and I know you're not wrong, but neither am I.
I had to paint the path.
What if you had something like this?
It's gonna be a little bit controversial maybe.
When you shift your operating pattern, just journal, brain dump, and just execute what your brain just put on paper.
Most painters don't have the finances down to a science.
We got Nick Slavic in the house.
Look, I've been here for like a minute. Feel like some of y'all forgetting. I got it high in the city. First one to 7.
What's going on, guys? Aiden Smith here with the Paint Your Path podcast. We got a super special episode here. We got the boys here. We got the Paint Pros.
Let's go.
And we got Paint Pro Market. I meant New Era Digital Marketing. I'm not starting a marketing company.
Yeah.
But man, I'm so excited to have these guys, man. We're gonna have an epic weekend. We've already been just chopping it up. So we're excited to bring you an episode and just really talk about what's been going on over the last year or two.
Yeah.
It's been monumental. And man, I think when you get guys that are like-minded, ambitious, good intentions, that just want to make a positive impact, good things happen, and that's kind of what we assembled here. So we're happy to be together right now.
Yeah, no, legendary too. Mm-hmm.
Josh, let's go for an intro, bro.
Yeah, man. You know, Paint Your Path podcast, legendary moment for me, man. Dang, I've been listening to this before I even knew A. So, you know, that's full circle too, man. But just a big testament of the power of this community, the power of Aiden Smith, the power of Paint Pro coaching. It's transformational what it can do, you know, so just blessed to be sitting in Orlando talking paint business.
At the crib, the new crib.
At the new crib, yeah.
The new crib.
Yeah.
We got new crib, new truck.
New truck, man. Yep.
New everything.
Mm-hmm.
New era.
New era. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
never forget.
But yeah, we got some amazing guys here. Josh Edwards, Edwards Painting Co., Montana.
Yep.
Paint Pro Coach. We got Justin Vega, Vega's Painting, Port St. Lucie, Paint Pro Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And we got my man Daniel Pereira. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Cool. New Era Digital Marketing, off Facebook and Google Ads. Right?
No, just
Meta. Just Meta. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. I thought you dabbled in Google a little bit.
Nah, straight Meta.
Straight Meta. You heard it here first.
Riches are in the niches, man.
He runs our ads, so he's been killing it. Doing good, man.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, awesome weekend. And I really just wanted to shed light, you know, like I said. And it's been a crazy journey over these last 2 years, like I said. And we've changed a lot of people's lives. We've changed our own lives in a big way.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we're bringing new life to an industry that helped us out, you know, that really changed our life. So, I don't know, man. Who wants to pick up from that?
Yeah, I'll pick up right where you left off. If you really think about it, go back. I mean, I grew up in the painting industry with my dad being a painter. Go back 10 years, right? Painters were known as the drunks, the druggies, and, you know, bottom of the barrel.
I'll hide my beer.
No. But you know what I mean, right? Like, 100%. They weren't considered like electricians and plumbers, like top of the trade thing. Fast forward to today, I mean, some of the most high-level companies now are painting companies. So the way the industry is going, it's going in the right direction, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it at this point.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's crazy coming into it, man, because I was even just looking at the calendar and we're coming up on our 3rd year in business.
Mm-hmm.
And when I launched my company 3 years ago, I had no concept of systems and softwares. I found some podcasts online, and just when I knew I wanted to take that leap, and I came from subcontracting painting and being in the field for real, and just like I knew paint and I saw the opportunity, I just wanted to run at it. And then when I opened my eyes to how do you actually build a healthy painting business? How do you build freedom in a painting business? Mm-hmm. How do you start to implement all of these ideas, systems, frameworks, and just a way to move?
Yeah.
That's when everything really started to change. And it's like, you can hustle so hard. You could be the hardest worker in the room, but you could spin your wheels and you could run the rat wheel. And there's a moving smart and there's a working hard, and they're two very different things. Doing that education is what kind of moves that needle. and investing into, coaching and even the free stuff out there. Like podcast was my initial step into it, was Contractor Secrets and
Idaho Painter.
Stop
playing with them.
I remember looking at the podcast app, man. I used to paint for 10 hours a day and just listen.
Yeah.
To the point that I just felt like I was so over encumbered with information about how to do this. I was like, I have to go right now.
Yeah.
I cannot keep moving as a sub and working for someone else when I'm like, then you start to see all the inefficiencies and the things that you think you could improve in your own business. But there's so much information even out there that someone likely right now is listening to, that could be on the tools listening to us talk right now. And I remember myself in those shoes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And wondering like, is this all this shit really possible? Can you really get to this place and do these numbers?
You're almost infatuated with the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, how do they figure it out? Like, and I know a lot of our people listening right now that tune into the podcast are on job sites, listening, painting right now. And it's like, that was us. Like, we lived that.
Yeah,
And
100%.
One of the cool things about, like, I think that the Paint Pro coaching was built on was that, like, we get that grind and we know what it got us. And it was a cap.
Yep.
Right? Like, you cannot break through that when you're on the tools. So now that we have flexed another kind of business owner hat, kind of leader hat, we're starting to refine that. And going back to the tools, it's like, might be necessary at certain points, right? But at the same time, it's like we know that we're capped at that point.
No, 100%. I mean, think of it as like, what's the industry rate of what a painter should produce per year? So think of that. If you are in the field painting with maybe a helper or another helper, you cap yourself at a certain amount per year.
$500,000 tops.
You take that step back, you start delegating all of the production, you get off the tools, you work on the business, not in it. This gives you the opportunity to hit $1 million, $2 million, whatever the goal might be.
It starts to compound in a big way. It's like you open yourself up to a machine now that you're kind of just tweaking things.
Yeah.
Think of it like a car, right? It's like you're just going in there tweaking the alternator, right? Just kind of greasing up shit. You become the engineer, but in a such different way, It's like, all right, how do I paint this house? And then now it's like, how do I get more leads that are more quality, that are going to close faster? Like, that's the race now.
Yeah.
And you put that energy into there, and it's just a compound effect.
Yeah.
Right. And I know Daniel has seen that firsthand, right? Like, when you're working with guys, you see the people that are high level and focused on those type of things, and then the people that are stuck on the tools a little bit more, focused on those type of things, right? What are the difference in, like, results that you're getting?
Directly from Facebook?
Well, just in general, like, you've seen a broad, like, here are the guys focusing on the right things, right, to grow a business, and here are the guys that are like, I know that I'm giving you what you need, but you are not able to capitalize.
Okay. Like I told you, it was yesterday in our conversation, every single person is a little bit different in what they want. Some people, like Justin, we're trying to scale the budget, we're trying to scale the company, we're trying to grow. Some people, they just want a consistent budget, just consistent lead flow, and that's it. They have no real interest in growing it by, say, from 350,000 to 800,000 by the end of the year. There's no aggression. They just don't have consistent lead flow, and they want to fill that in with Facebook.
You've been doing it long enough. Have you seen a trend that those guys usually at some point tap out?
Ooh, it depends on the situation. I've been working with someone actually in my state in Jersey for 2 years now. Same thing.
It's just been autopilot.
And even though he expressed he wants to grow his business, he has not really made any effort to actually grow his business on a systematic level.
You can do that too, though.
That's kind of what I was
You can do that too.
And he's on the tools.
Yeah.
He's on the tools. He does the estimates. We're the ones actually scheduling the estimates for him, so he's able to do that. But he's good. I'll say largely since English is not his first language, so we do a lot of heavy lifting, and since he's right there next to me, I actually do check out his content. I'm the one front facing for his ads.
That's legendary.
That's great.
Check it. So it's me. I
You need a commission.
him.
That's a guy going above and beyond now,
I
right?
schedule estimates, and then like he goes there. I'm like, I'm trying to set you up.
Yeah.
Of course, he does give me some friction anytime when it comes to the ads I want to record, because he's getting out of his comfort zone. But that's the thing when it comes to Facebook.
Gotcha.
You gotta get out of your comfort zone. Even today, I don't want to do that. I'm like, do it.
Oh, dude, he's trying to have me dance, and I'm like, dude, that ain't me.
So that's not.
One thing about me is like, I'll do crazy shit, but just don't make me that uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna sell out for the business.
You
know what
guys
I'm
should see the
saying?
video. I'll show you guys the video. It's not that bad.
We're gonna loop it on this. It's like,
I think that's like one of the coolest things about a painting business, though, is there's so many different ways that you can define success. There's so many different ways it can look and be successful. You know, you could be. I know guys that are craftsmen. I know personally, maybe not in paint, but in any of the trades, and they say, "Dude, I love this.
Well,
I love the action of this."
let's look at Walter.
Right.
Walter absolutely loves being out there, right? He
he does.
he loves it so much. But look at the company he's built. You know what I mean? So you can, there is a balance where he can be like, you know what, I'm gonna go do Venetian plaster on this wall today. But he's also set up the systems to where his, I don't know how many employees he has now at this point, but they're all managing, running. His project manager's doing his thing, his sales guy's doing their thing, his office is doing his thing. If he chooses in his free time that he was able to create because of these systems, if he chooses to go paint, so be it. It's his freedom.
That's a
what he
fire
wants.
topic. Like,
Yes.
we've seen so many different models where someone comes in and maybe they have an aptitude to be a great sales rep, or they have an aptitude to be a great project manager, or they're a systems builder, or they're a craftsman. You know, what do you guys see that are the key components that no matter what you are, from sales rep to craftsman,
You can build a business
you can
around
still build a successful business, you know? And what are those consistencies that you see throughout those people that just like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
There is not a surefire way that this works.
That's true.
It's building it in your image, you know?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of guys we can reference, right? But like, just for real quick, Walter. First off, shout out to Dave, our coach that couldn't
Shout
be here
out,
today.
Dave.
That's right.
Dave just running an absolute beast of a business. Probably gonna do 8 million this year, right?
Yep.
And he coached Walter. Me and him kind of tandem coached Walter. And I won't give. Obviously, we do everything private and make sure we don't give out too much. But like, I will tell you guys that when I got into Walter's business, he was like, "Hey man," I'm like, "Hey man, like how many out of 10 sales are you closing?" He's like 7 or 8, and it was like nothing for him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the power of the personal brand that you can build today that is gonna resonate.
You know why he can do that? Because he dances on camera.
This is true.
He's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, hey, shout out, you know?
Yeah.
But like, no, we were able to say like it got to a point because we were a couple calls in, and I remember thinking like, I gotta get this guy on a tool somehow. But it got to a point where like, he doesn't have to do that. We just have to build around him.
No.
And then we like helped him put some A players in certain roles, and he tightened them up, recruited some great people. And now it's like, dude, his team is running without him, closing deals with the right software. Things are more organized, and he's able to empower them while he runs crazy.
He goes, does Venetian or something.
And he just does, he's like, I'm doing a master
masterclass.
class next week. I might buy this business. Like, it's crazy. But again, you know, what you're saying, like, you can build a business around what you want to do.
In your image.
Yes.
You know? And I think all of us, like even the three of us, have built something
Just
night
talked about
and day
that,
different.
you know?
You know? And all of us are finding success and winning in very different ways, following a lot of the same core principles, but still just doing it in the image we want to create it in. And that's like one of the most beautiful things about the painting
That is
business.
insane, dude.
Because it's not, this is how it's done and this is the thing
Yeah,
you
it's
to
not a-
follow. First you get the admin,
Yes.
then the PM, like,
It's not so cut and dry.
It's not.
It's not black and white. Like, what do they say? There's so many ways to the end of a line, right? Same thing with building the business. It's there's so many ways to do it. Like you said, you rather delegate project management first.
Yeah.
In my experience, I would much rather delegate the sales first. It doesn't matter how you do it. It goes back to like what we always say, right? Think with the end in mind.
Yeah.
What's the end goal? So reverse engineer it and make it work to where what you have in mind at the end becomes like an actual reality.
yeah.
To where you can give yourself that freedom to do what it is you want to do.
You know what? I think about Alex right now, what we're going through. So we're coaching this A2 painting.
Yeah, Alex Castro, shout out.
Shout
A2
out
painting,
Alex.
man.
And 19 years old, just set a record month, 80,000, like killing it. And
80 grand at 19.
insane.
If I could look back.
I was
Oh my God.
subbing for Certipro. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, like building something amazing with like the best vendors, right? And I think me and Josh, like he was already in with the systems. He already kind of figured out a lot of stuff.
Really bright kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And me and Josh in the last couple sessions have just been, what do you want?
Yep.
Like deep down, put your pride aside. You're a little younger, so you're a little stubborn, that's okay. But we're breaking them down. Like, let's get to the root of this, because once we figure that out, it's a straight shot up.
Yep.
If you're dealing with internal mental stuff, it's not gonna work.
Yep.
You're just gonna be getting in your own way, frustrated, pivoting left and right. Once you get really clear on that vision, and I think we're finding that right now with like the family model of like, hey, I'm gonna market this as a family business. Now we're putting our foot on the gas, we're building around that. And he even feels more comfortable. He's like, hey, I'm talking to the customers and I'm just pitching my family.
Yeah.
Right?
And an authentic story.
And an authentic story
Yeah.
that nobody can compete with.
Yeah.
Because now you're not comparing duration, warranties. It's no, like, what about us, our family, and making you feel trusted, you know?
Yep.
It's
Playing to the
crazy.
strong suits, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like goes back again, you know, when you're building your business, like one of the honestly, like most enjoyable parts of this from a humble standpoint is going through entrepreneurship as an owner of a business and realizing the things you're great at and you really excel at.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, finding the things that you suck at.
True.
And finding people that are so much better at it than you and just setting them in a position and getting out of their way.
Dude.
So they can kill it. You know, and being like a great delegator of people and understanding, and that's like truly one of the most enjoyable things to me.
Yeah.
Is like I love to find things that I'm like my character and just whole disposition. I'm not good at this. And one thing for me is like managing people. You know, I'm like kind of a soft dude when it comes to people. I got a big heart, and I'm always playing this role of just going back and forth and trying. And I love that from a business standpoint.
Right.
But there's bottlenecks everywhere in it, you know?
Yeah, you can't always be a people pleaser.
And
That's a good
finding
point,
someone that
man.
comes in and is just like, no, we're going to be
Yep.
principled and we're going to be good, and fair at all times, but fair to yourself too.
Right.
But at a high level, just identifying those things and saying, there's 1 to 2 to 3 areas in my business that I'm unfuckwittable at. I
Sure.
can just do this,
Right,
and
right.
I'm gonna be a hard person to replace right here. And then all these
know.
other things, let's find someone that's a great manager of people and a great systems builder, whatever that thing is, and then build back kind of from your image and who we are as owners and build your business kind of backwards from there. At least from a ground level,
I want to ask you guys something real quick, because you guys come from similar starting points, right? Like when we first got together, it was like on the tools, 30-ish K a month, 40K a month, right?
Yep.
And I remember like vividly that you guys were almost not stuck in your ways, but like, hey, this is how I do things right now,
I
Yes,
definitely would.
yes.
And you knew it was like, hey, I know there's businesses out there that are 5 million, but like, I'm gonna get there, like relax, Aiden type thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys listening, we're doing some things with guys in our coaching that is unbelievable in such a quick amount of time. So like maybe if you guys could talk me through what your mindset was then and how that has changed now that you're opened up to all this new ways of running the business.
Go ahead, Vega.
So I'm glad you said that, because I used to tell Aiden all the time on our calls. I mean, this is almost, God, it's probably more than 2 years ago. I used to tell Aiden, like, no one's painted like me. I used to tell him that.
I get out there with Vega.
I'm gonna be like, you're telling me that I can put my trust and my company into my employees, but they can't paint like me. Next thing you know, I'll never forget. I had to have surgery. I think you remember this. And you're like, don't ever go back. You're like, just see.
This is a blessing.
He said, just see what happens, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be out for a month anyway, so let's just try it out. And then that's when I really understood why having some sort of system and some sort of process was so important. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I sat down my lead guy, who is now my lead guy, Jimmy, and I was like, look, I'm going to be out. I need you to be me.
Your show.
And then next thing you know, it was like Justin never touched a paintbrush again. Yep. And
Amen.
And is the quality of our work slipping? No. If anything, I'm not even gonna lie, it's gotten better because the guys now take more pride in their work. That hey, Justin's not here like hammering us about, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. They understand like, hey, if I don't get this right, guess who's coming back to touch this up? Guess who has to come back and make the customer happy? It's them. It's not me. Also, like with sales, let's talk about that, right? Aiden said to me, he's like, you need a sales guy. I was like, but yeah, I'm killing it right now. That's exactly what I said.
Sell like me.
Exactly. I was like, I'm killing it right. I was like, what do you mean don't go sell? Like get someone else. I just hired this guy and last week he sold like 50K and like he's just training.
Clip that.
Like he's just training. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, damn, you know what? It totally makes sense. Everything that we went over 2 years ago does change happen overnight. Not necessarily, but it can. If you follow the process, it can happen a lot sooner than you think. I don't mean to keep going, but look at Cody.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out Cody with Cool Breeze because
Shout out, man.
I think we're on like we're like a month and a half, maybe 2 months in, maybe even 3. But in 3 months, the guy went from a burnt out painter to just stressing every day about the little nuances of his business to tripling his crew size, constant 100K months now. It's like, that's how fast things can happen when you put yourself around the right people.
He said, I enjoy the business. I enjoy selling that.
I remember when he said that.
It used to be a drag. He said, going to an estimate and like quoting and talking to the customer and all that kind of stuff, it was like one of the worst parts of the business. Now he's like, I'm energized. That is the change that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and I think if you really look at it too, right, you can, how do I want to say this? You can enjoy something and you can want to delegate something at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But if you can't figure it out yourself first, how are you going to show somebody the way? You know what I mean? How are you going to delegate a task to somebody if you have no idea how to do it?
There's some nuance there, but I got you.
You know what I mean? Like,
With him, actually, because you were saying like some change doesn't happen overnight. A lot of the things that I was doing early on, like the results weren't coming right away. Like it's just too hard from zero to get like crazy results. And what happened was a year later, people were like, Aiden, I went back and I just started going crazy.
It's a slow build.
Right?
It's a slow build.
I was like, we were shooting ads for Paint Pro Coaching, and you know, everything's clickbait nowadays. Everything's like, hey, in 90 days, get so much money. And I remember doing some of the script like, what we're gonna help you build is gonna help you for years to come. And unfortunately, that's not marketable, right? People don't want to hear that.
they want right now.
But that's the reality of it. It's like you're building a foundation that now you're gonna be like, holy shit, thank God I did that. Because this is helping me later down the line, right? Like a website, you don't want to drop 5K on a website.
No.
Who wants to do that?
Yep.
But then once you start seeing that consistent, high ticket brand,
We know you would. Dan.
it's nuts, man.
Click the link below for the,
Shit.
Dude, I would say too, just like looping back to that question, you know, when I was going through the coaching, like when I went in to the coaching, you know, I'm investing into it. I'm investing into myself. Like I had a foundational mindset of, I'm going to get outside of my comfort zone and I'm going to try things and I'm going to implement, and whatever this coaching says, like to some extent, I'm going to implement this and try it. But also at a foundational level, like I think all of us as entrepreneurs, even at the beginning, like you have to have an element of self-belief. And like we're saying, like we're building businesses in our image, and there is so many different ways to skin this cat.
Yeah.
One of the foundational things that I found is just like knowing myself, knowing my strengths, knowing my vision at a core level. And even though I could talk to a Tanner Mullen or a Brad Ellison or an Aiden Smith and
Shout out those guys, legendary.
Super high level people, and I'm hearing what they're saying and I know you're not wrong, but neither am I. You know?
Dude.
And I think like for entrepreneurs and us as like leaders, like we have to have an element of, at the end of the day, I believe in my vision here, and I'm going to be willing to go out there and contend with great minds in the industry. But at the end of the day, trust myself enough to just call plays.
Bro, I'm the type of guy, if you put me in a church, preach, that's me, right? I'm that guy, unfortunately. It's not great for socials because I interrupt every clip. But like what I love is taking guys where I see potential, and even they see potential, right, in themselves, but like maybe they just need some tweaks to get there. And then once they start running with it, and then they hear the gurus and the people online and people say stuff, and they're like, you can think that, but I'm good. I'm running with something. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want to hear. Because now you are the shot caller. You are the one that understands your business, makes those tweaks, and you get to live in that, right? So like that confidence, I just want to tell people before they even know it, like, bro, you are him. You know your shit. Trust it, bro. Because you're hearing something and it's taking you one way and you're making yourself question yourself, but you know your business. You know what's going on. Read that, run with it, and then you'll learn if it goes bad. You'll at least learn, change, and you know you're more susceptible to change because you've been through coaching, you've been through other things. So I love that, bro. And I think I noticed that with you like very, very quick, where at first you were like, big eyes, oh, that's how it has to happen. And then you were like, you know what? Fuck that, I'm doing it this way, you know?
I mean, and you, even if you're wrong, you know, the willingness to keep going and like work out the kinks, like you're never really wrong.
Okay, you're down a couple thousand.
You're wrong till you're right.
A couple, months to recover, but you're back. That's it.
But I just like, there's an essence like when you're leading a company and you have people in this company that need something to believe in, which the vast majority of the time is trickled down from you and your actions and how you lead this company. Confidence. And just when you walk in the room, even if you may be moving the wrong way now, but saying like, but we're going unapologetically and we're going to do this until we switch gears. But always moving with intention and not just having this element of like dipping my toes in with this or I'm going to try this. Like if we're going to implement it, we're doing it. We're giving it a full shot. Dude. We're going to see it through. And if we don't want to do that anymore, cut it. And we're moving a different direction.
I remember you tried subs because I was like, hey man, I know what you're trying to do. And in order to do that, you need workers now to produce because you sound like hotcakes. Let's get subs in there, so at least try it. You went in, you saw some things, didn't go as planned, but that's okay. And now you're like, I know the direction of my company for years to come now. And I thought that going through that, even though it wasn't like perfect, it still gave you that, again, you learned from that, you know.
And nothing happened like that you don't recover from.
Right.
And that's how you're going to get the most out of a coaching situation or even just as a student of the game is just being willing to implement fast. Okay, that's what he says. That sounds like a good idea. Let's try it. Let's give it our all. Let's give it a fair shot.
Just what happened with the sales rep.
If it doesn't shake, fuck it. Are we not going to be able to recover? Like, is it going to be so bad that we can't keep the wheels turning?
Your foundation is good enough to where you're fine, but also because you've invested in yourself mentally, now your what's that, floor is higher than ever, right? Like if the painting business went to shit today, you got so many opportunities based on the experiences that you have now, right? Like that's unbelievable to think about. So why not just keep doubling down? It just makes you better. Who wouldn't want to have you on their team?
It's like what my wife told me when like I joined the coaching. I was down bad, man. Like just not, financially or anything like that, just burnt out. And she said, "What's the worst that's going to happen?" You do.
Your wife is hard.
It's true.
My wife is the same way, but I just love to hear
because that. It's true. I mean, think of it, right? You take a leap of faith, guys, right? I'm about to sit up for this.
Oh, man.
You take a leap of faith.
You're talking my language, leap of faith.
You dive into something, right, that you truly believe in, okay? If it doesn't work out, where does that put you? Right where you are now. But what if it all goes right? It takes you like to places you've never thought you were going to go before. So when someone gives you like the playbook and you have this vision of what you truly believe in and you dive into it, you got to just go with it because the possibilities of what's to come out of that are endless. Rather, if you don't make a move, you're right where you are today.
I've been telling myself that for a long time now. It's a different mindset.
I'm gonna sit back.
What if it went right? What if it goes right? What if it works out? I've been telling myself that a lot.
And that's an intentional shift. Like we all default to what if this goes bad? What if I lose my brand new truck? What if I lose my employees? What if I can't make payroll? And it takes intentionality and training of the brain in a healthy mindset to think of that differently and see all the upside.
That wasn't me 2 years ago.
Me either, bro.
Straight up. Same. I mean, you heard conversation with me and Alex this morning, right? How different was that conversation? Just like that we had about the networking event and stuff, like how we saw things. You remember that?
Yeah, but compared to like what's
Just like how we were interacting and talking about something that we might do.
might do an opportunity that may come out of it or may not come out of it.
Yeah, so like, you know, Alex, Cabinet Kona King, shout out.
Goat,
right?
Cabinet goat.
He's like been my mentor the last 2 years, right? Like just a special place in my heart. And I called him up for like anything that I do that I feel like, hey, let me just run this by somebody. So I called him up this morning and I'm talking about this networking play I talked to you about the other day. And he's like, yeah, he's like, it could work. He's like, whatever you want to do, bro, it'll work. Like if you put the right energy in, if you're all in, like it's going to work. He's like, you just got to make sure that that energy can sustain and that the people that get affected by it, that it can work for them too. Just like a different mindset. He's like, it's not about just, doing something, taking action. There are trickle downs that happen with this.
Yeah.
And there's going to be bumps in the road. And like, you need to be prepared and put the right energy into it. And I'm just like thinking about it in a different way now, you know?
Yep.
It was
Thinking like more intention and
Yeah.
if I'm trying to do this, you know, how do all parties win from it, you know? And for the long run too.
Yeah, man. So I've been thinking a lot about that when I'm like doing stuff, whether it's transitioning with the business, making investments. Like, is it the right play from like an intentionality standpoint? Yeah, I can do it. We can just make it happen. But it's like me, my brain, right? Like all the things I got going on. How does it affect everything else? Yeah. You know?
Yep.
It's just interesting.
Well, I mean, that's foundational, man, you know, and we were just talking about it in a group coaching call the other day, but laws of attraction, man, it's like we all want these things in our mind, you know, and whether it's a big business or this many employees, this amount of revenue, this many sales, and a lot of us get caught in this rat race, and I've certainly been a proponent of this, of just focusing so much on what we want,
right,
instead of what the thing that we want
That's exactly
wants,
it.
and making that priority first.
Yeah.
And saying, man, I'm really trying to get this guy on my team to step up and be a leader. Have you ever taken the time to find out what he wants and actually position this company as something that's directly in his view of becoming a leader here equals where I'm trying to go in life?
Yeah, it doesn't always have to reflect exactly as what you want.
This shit ain't about us.
It's not. Like, it's bigger than me.
That's
you know
what
I mean?
entrepreneurship and owning a business is like. Truly, I feel like that's how you get greatness out of other people, is when they directly understand that your greatness and your energy that you sink into this is directly aligned with what you are trying to get out of life. And how are we going to customize that? And how are we going to gear this towards that? Instead of just expecting it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Gift to work for a company, you know?
I'm glad you say that, because it's funny. My lead guy literally had to put me in my place at one point. He's like, Justin, this is what you told me you want. He's like, so let me do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to take this on. And that's what I'm saying. I thought I had it all under control. Sometimes you just have to, like you said, ask somebody else, hey, what is it that you want? How do you see us getting there? So I did that. I said, this is what I wanted. This was like a couple months ago. I told him it. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, he's like, well, this is what you told me you want. This is how I think we're going to get there. So I told him, I said, you know what, Jimmy? Run with it. I said, I'm putting my trust in you. You have to, because if I keep telling him this is going to happen, and then it's like, well, how is it going to happen? Yeah. They're going like brain dead almost. There's no point to it.
You know what? This is the part of like our podcast that people start to not understand it, right? And in a sense, because, you know, you've been in control. A lot of the people that are trying to grow their business, it's all about them. I need to make more money. I'm just going to put this guy in a place to make $300-500 a day. Oh, this is going to make me money hiring this guy. When you start transitioning to how do I help the guys working with me create their life, now you just by default start going crazy. Yeah. It's like a rocket ship, but like mentally you have to be prepared to go through those conversations. Like you were ready for that conversation, right?
I was, because I understood, like, trying to tell him what to do.
You didn't fight it.
I did not fight it. When you try and tell somebody what it's going to be rather than asking them how they think it should go, you are it's almost like you're talking down on them.
As leadership.
If you make them feel like an equal, watch how better it becomes.
Leading leaders.
Watch how better it becomes. Jimmy told me when I bought that van, the reason I bought that van, he says, I need a van.
I need a van.
He's like, Justin, I need a van. He's like, watch what happens when we get a van. The ROI is already paid off, and I bought the van maybe 2 months ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, these guys that are part of your crew that are helping you run and build this business, you got to include them in some things that you're trying to accomplish, because they're the ones that are going to take it and run with it and help you grow this thing out, because they believe now.
We've been on this servitude run for a little bit, you know. That's been a big, you know, every time we coach somebody, it's like we put that at the center, because only good things come out of it.
That's
you know?
intention.
It's what you should be doing as a human, right? And then I'm a Christian, so I try to like make sure that if I'm going to be preaching something, I have to be that way, and it has to continue, because only good things come out of it, you know?
Yep.
When you serve other people, especially in business, it's like, again, you're already going to be taken care of, you know? Like bringing this guy, Jesus, you know, like I'm going through and I'm looking at, like, he's coming from a totally different industry. It's not even about me anymore. I need to get him quality leads. I need to get him the things he need to be successful so he can run with it.
Yep.
And if I'm not doing that, if I'm just looking at, the commissions, the sales he's going to give me, ain't going to work.
Irrelevant.
It'll never work, ever. He'll check out. There'll be, and there's guys out there. I think this is why we started our business, because we've seen guys like that out there.
Yep.
I remember I had like an arch nemesis back in Philly, because I was like, this motherfucker is the opposite of me. I do not want to run my business like him. And it ended
Probably worked for him.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it did,
You
dude.
know?
And I remember thinking, like, why do these guys keep going back to this guy?
Yep.
Like, you're going in a spiral of working for someone who doesn't give a crap about you. So we get to come in and say, you know what? I'm going to run a better business.
Yeah.
And we get to do things in servitude, and, you know, we see it back in our life, pay dividends, and it might not be right away, but eventually it catches up, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
In a crazy way, man.
And I think there's a lot more fulfillment in that anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Like coming from, a pretty starving situation and launching a business and not having financial freedom or any of those things that we're experiencing now in life, and owning these businesses, and like you get to this level and you realize, like, once you're not starving anymore, it's like, at least for me, like the money thing is like, it's not really my thought, you know? It's more about like the intention of where we're trying to go, the lives we want to lead, who we want to be in our companies, who we want to impact, and how do we curate this thing. And all I've seen is the more you make it about that, the more your business grows.
I give you a perfect
100%. 100%. No, right there. I'm glad Josh said that, because it isn't about the money. And I'll be honest with you, right? There's people out there who are money driven. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. But if you set these intentions first, right, and you do everything other than worry about the money, watch the money come in with these intentions. Because if you're only focused on the money, you're going to be worrying about that bank account every day. If you're worrying about that, how are you going to worry about growing the business? How are you going to worry about the other things that truly matter in your life if you're solely focused on the money? If you focus on everything else first, and you grow in the right way, and you do things with the right intention, all of these things come with it. So that's how you have to think.
That's not to be confused, though. So there is a verse, I can't think of it right now, but it's something about being a slave to the money. But there is a thing there where you have to be profitable in order to make sure you can take care of everybody and keep everything going.
100%.
So we don't want to confuse the fact that, like, oh yeah, of course it's not like in that way about the money, but at the same time, it's like we get to build so much value and serve our homeowners as well that they're willing to pay more for us. We're willing to then be more profitable, to reinvest, get the guys the vans, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So I think I don't want to confuse that as well.
Just being fair, like a truly fair business owner. Like at the end of the day, you know, you can set people up for success and uncover their why and all the things that they want out of life, but if you don't show up to make that happen, like I show up, like we carry ourselves at a standard, right? And as owners, we are the high standard. We're setting the bar, and we have to be willing to require that bar out of other people.
And what's that going to do? Allow your customers to see that on the back end.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, dang, this is like the real deal company. The painters, real deal. They're not just going in and throwing one coat and dipping, right?
100%.
It's like, hey, there's more value to be there, and people are willing to pay for that, right? And I'm that way myself. If I have somebody that comes in and I'm like impressed and I see so much, like you said, high standardness or whatever the case may be, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
and
again,
that's one of the things that, like, when I talk about my struggles as a people's manager, you know, is this, like, working through this process as an owner of, like, you know, I'm never gonna miss payroll on my guys.
Right.
I'm never gonna make like, you guys are gonna have work every day. I'm always like, my foundational job title is always gonna be done, you know? And I'm striving to even try and be a better business owner and be a leader and bring the greatness out of the people that's in my company.
Right.
But at a foundational level, like, you're always gonna get paid on time.
right,
You're always gonna have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And all of my promises to you are gonna be met. I need to get that out of you too. That as a crew lead in my company, and you said this job's gonna take 3 days, brother, on day 3, if it's not done, what are you willing to do to make sure your job's done?
Yeah.
And some of us struggle to hold that standard. I did for a long time. But as long as I looked at myself and like, I've never made an excuse for my role in this company. So why am I allowing other people to lower the bar? And then there's someone else in the room that would have loved to stay late to hit that bar. He wants to get to the money. He wants to hit his goal. Like, being a maintainer of that standard and being willing to just say, no, we're not going to accept less. You know, we said this is going to happen. And if it was just for, you know, lack of effort, we're staying late to get this done.
Right.
And that's our culture, you know? And I've had those conversations that I've seen take so much positive impact in our company, where I'm looking at my guys and saying, we're not being fucking losers here.
Man, no.
We're not going to constantly set goals and not hit them. That's not what this company's about. And I see it they respond well to it and be like, fuck, man, I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to constantly feel like I'm behind.
And wouldn't I want to pay more for a company like that?
Of course. Yep.
So that's what we're saying, right? That's the full circle, right? I do want to like talk real quick about that, like, servitude mindset as well. So, like, we're trying to put on the Paint Pro event. We'll be talking about it this weekend, and shout out. That's going to be a big time thing, right? And, you know, we're going to come with some heat, value. And one of the things for me is, I know Dave, right? One of the coaches we work with is working on his personal brand right now, right? Making videos for the painting company. He hit me up like, hey, I'm really invested in this. I'm putting myself out there, and it's been shown. I mean, he'll tell you, like, people just see my videos. They want to work with us. They see how in-depth we are, the value we're bringing to the table. That matters, right? And for me, I'm like, how can I contribute to that, right? So talk game plan with him, gave him some, whatever the case may be, to help that. But, like, I want to put him on stage.
Yeah, he needs to.
I need to give him a platform. There's too much good there to not have him give that value out and to showcase what he's been putting in so much work.
Yeah.
This man wakes up at 4:30 every day.
Yep.
Every day. He was in the Airbnb eating casein donuts.
Yeah.
Like, locked in. And, you know, when a guy like that, and I don't think he's getting the recognition that he deserves, I need to make that happen for him.
Yeah.
You know, like, as a just personal, like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
If all else fails.
Josh and I were just talking about it before we started this, and we sat down on this couch and we looked at each other like, man, imagine being coached by Dave.
I said I might hire Paint Pro coach.
like come on, man. Like, that guy Dave has so much to offer. And when we sat and we chatted at the PCA, and we kind of just chopped it up, me, him, and his wife, man, the guy's a
Amazing
wealth of
people,
knowledge.
man. Yeah.
But not only that, he's a damn good person.
And cool.
100%.
Yeah, he's
cool
a damn good
dude,
person,
man.
and it's like,
Yeah.
he does have a lot to offer, and that's exactly why he's part of our community.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean? So shout out Dave.
Yeah,
Shout out,
Dave,
man. We've had
The
amazing.
ruler, man.
Stamp that
Go
right
on,
now.
man. The ruler, man.
Oh, man. We've had such amazing people come through the door, man, and find us, right? And I think that's a part of what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Is, like, create that energy, create that spirit. Like, I feel like you said, right? People, they used to be drunks running a painting business, and that was what it is. And now you get new life. And if we're not going to shine that beam and that light so we can reach more people that are like-minded like us, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's too much good
I agree.
wrapped up that is not being shown.
Yep.
And partly that's me, right? I got to market better, but that's what we're working on, right?
Get to
We're
work,
locked
man.
in all weekend,
go.
putting this in. And I think that's the crux at why we're doing this. And
Yep.
again, not about the money, right? We're not looking for, sign up, right? It's more of like, the value will come, the money will be there. We're going to reach the people that are in need and that want this. And yeah, just putting it out there. So.
Yep.
Ask anybody in the community if they regret it. Straight up.
So J Money just selling it right
Straight up. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, it has nothing to do with like buying into the coaching. But if you really think about it, right? Like, look at the group of guys we have. Look at our group chat, right?
I also want to say, shout out to the Contractor Excellence team as well.
Oh,
Joel
hell
and those
yeah.
guys.
Hell yeah,
because
man.
even though he couldn't be here, we got some awesome stuff planned, Paint Con, and we'll get to that.
Yep.
But also Joel's community as well, like helped me build this podcast and been a mentor for me over the last 2 years and helped me build my coaching, painting business, just be there for me. And I think when somebody puts their time out for someone, right, that's the most important thing. Like, F everything else. If you're just there for someone and like intentional about giving that time of your life to them, bro.
You can feel that on Joel, man. Joel is one of those guys that just like loves the game, and you can tell it. And
All
he just
in.
loves to give the value. I remember, shout out Joel, man, because, I haven't been through Contractor Excellence, never put $1 in Joel's pocket. And Joel extended his time to me, taught me about production meetings, gave me a bunch of game for the free.
Yeah.
And just was like, man, I see you. I think you're doing dope shit. Here's some game. There you go.
That's it,
Have
man.
a good day.
Yeah.
And good people, man. Tons of good people in this
Dude,
community,
tons
bro.
of good people, man. And I always say like the worst or the people that aren't supposed to be with bad intentions, it's gonna come to light. Right?
Yeah.
We've seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it firsthand, but we get to do something different, And Joel, his community, they're a part of that. And there's a lot of other guys like that as well. And we look forward to meeting them, right? We're going to be doing a lot more events, a lot more networking and whatnot. And who knows how this progresses,
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Paint Pro coaching event's gonna be crazy.
Can't wait, man.
Yeah, we're putting that together, man.
Yeah. Well, any last words? Anything we got? Or that was a
Thank you
rock
to
solid.
you guys, man. Super grateful to be a part of just knowing you
likewise.
dudes, bro. And
Yeah.
life has changed dramatically just getting into these rooms. So
I'm going to say one thing.
go ahead.
And I don't think this guy gets enough credit for what he does, and that's Aiden. Aiden is the reason. I mean, if we really think of it, right? Like, Aiden's the reason why we're all here.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like we were saying, a leader of leaders. Okay, and I think Aiden is one of the best. And I don't just say that because he's sitting right here. The man changed my life. I see him changing everybody else's life, and he does it because he loves it. So I don't think you get enough credit for that. So shout out Aiden, straight up.
This flowers, bro. 100%, man.
It's amazing, man. Well, what a great note for me to end it on. Man, just super grateful. It's an amazing group. Also, shout out to God. Just want to put that out there, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Paint your path. Subscribe.
I
like the channel. We got something coming.
Yeah.
Put the wraps on that for now. But
Yeah.
all right, guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and see you on the next one.